Once again, midway through the week, and that means more Symphogear. A journey that may be quite disastrous. We've seen the moon be destroyed, well, partially in the first one. The world now being asked to be on its knees. All nations bow down to the new Fine. Exactly how many are actually going to oblige? Probably not that many, but with the Nephilim just hanging out on the wings, what kind of destruction can actually cause, and who is going to regret bringing it into existence? But with the possibility of Fine being resurrected, her DNA still out there in the world, is it just a bluff? Or incomplete? There's a lot of little plot threads to go on, and I'm excited to see each and every one of them. So, grab a drink, and let's start the music. Having the stage overtaken by the opposition, just after she has performed so well and got the rest of the school behind her, made a name for herself, found a new home that she could belong to. At least, maybe, in a battle of song, there won't be actual physical combat. But I think I said in the previous one, they've completely thrown subterfuge and subtlety out the window, haven't they? I would like to see a more combatants than this, the three that we know and love. Having some ones that they can team up with, even if not a permanent addition. And also, I'm highly anticipating what kind of music is going to be given to us next. We've had some pretty good tunes in the past few episodes. And what a difference just taking off a few glasses would make. It's probably best if we get everyone that can to step outside. And they've went from one concert where noise appeared and they feared for their lives, to a school event where noise may appear and they may fear for their lives. And while Conventory Arms doesn't really do anything to the noise themselves, while the conventional ones may not do anything to the noise themselves, it definitely will to normal people. And if she's not using the gears, they didn't even put up any. I am completely blanking on words today. Not putting up any sort of tactics or not. What if they've got security? Just go in. It's fine. But they're just people. She has heart, at least. Are you sure you're on the right side here? She doesn't want pain for the sake of it. That was a weird slide there. Way to throw someone off at the start of a little competition. To aggravate as much as possible. Ah, right, yeah, the pendants. Well, I mean, even if it is, you'll get a wish granted to you, I'm not sure that they just eagerly hand over the crystals. Giving her a ultimatum like that, go out and kill people, or what? I abandon you? So now they are doing emotional warfare. And how long is she going to be able to keep herself? Plus, even though they don't have to do this at all, I think they enjoy performing. They work quite well in this duet fashion, don't they? So, there was no need for Maria to get her hands dirty when he's out there with the staff. I see, he has no qualms about hurting people. Why hold your fire? He just wiped out half your squad. Why hold your fire? Why wait until he has summoned the noise? Well, at least Maria's decision was made for her, though. Doesn't need to go out and do it. And to have that song, this performance, undercut by that scene. They're actually getting praise and seem somewhat, well, one of them at least seems somewhat shocked by it. Oh no. Well, that's several years of therapy for them if they're allowed out. Well, that's definitely one way to keep her on board, isn't it? If you don't want any blowback from the ones that you've got working on, do you? And a few kids as well. And how long until there's too much and she snaps? However, they actually care about the others, and their goal will be for naught if they end up getting hurt or anything. And what will those two say when Maria tells them the events what transpired? Oh no, they can't get back because of a little parade with papier-mâché whales. Is this time for their little talk? Really? And yet the joy you felt up on stage, what, just torn asunder instantly? Maybe at scheduled times they can have a duel. Well, at least they're doing things a little formally now. They won't be just assaulted and attacked out of nowhere. If they're able to keep their word and will have the set times for this little bout. Lots of, little dust piles. Also, I just wondered, like we saw when all the soldiers were being disintegrated, everything just turned to ash apart from their firearms. Why were the firearms spared and yet their clothes disintegrated? Well, it's not exactly the same. There's a colour difference. But if they were able to create it like that, to such a high degree, unless there was more to the puzzle. I mean, if they have a monopoly, they have the power, they have their right to control the world, money, anything else they desire. Something big must have transpired before. We know that bureaucracy and the like can obviously go downhill pretty quick sometimes, cause issues where there shouldn't be. Was there a crackdown which destroyed their base and killed their friends? Ignore your own values and morals, throw it to the wind for a cause, one that you're twisting the desires of the deceased. to control the I think I know where this is all going now. Well, then you're in trouble. And we've seen this before, someone sacrificing themselves, going straight to the... We'll sing this superb song. At least there was medical intervention that could help Tsubasa. It's a neat, outfit that she has. Slightly limiting in movement when you got the wings on front. Yeah, okay, when the place is completely torn apart, I don't think that the medics can really get there in time. And this is where the whole... They are far more worried about their experiments and what they've lost than... You'd think, though, if they've got such a powerful asset on their side here, you'd want to do anything you can to protect that as well, if you've just lost the experiment. So you kind of see why they went rogue on the self, because they won't be able to trust who they were with before, but still, you've seen what terrible power these Nephilim are, and their unpredictability and being unable to control them. Is this the site from before, or are they rebuilding it? And yet they're going down the same route, trying to make these Nephilim into something that can actually be weaponized. We know that's not true. Oh well, that's only secondary. But that's the main thing, isn't it? They were coming to inform her about they haven't fulfilled their duty of collecting the pendants, so we need to go back out there and attempt again. And they're punished for that. An unlisted address. Okay, so the former site. So it is the old bit that they're tearing down. A bit early for a final bout right at the place of importance from before. I will be so happy once the staff gets taken away from him and turned against him. Also, the freeway transformation sequence. Are they actually doing that each time, or is it for our benefit? Do you need the poses and everything? He would have a unending army of these noise, but will the staff actually have a limit to how many he can bring out? And it doesn't matter how many die along the way. Once again, it's all about the moon. Worldwide panic. And yet, times of trial and whatnot is the best time for innovation. Announce it. Sure, there'd be a lot of looting and riots, but some people might step up and try to fix the moon. And if everything he's saying is... I wish I could unsee that. If everything he's saying is true about the moon, why start a fight and a battle with the world? Why not continue to try all of this in private? Their experiments with the Nephilim and whatnot. Now she has to go through the noise. And what's that? Crunch. Is it gonna? Yeah, it's gonna. Well, that's not something you see every day. Oh, now there's no hope of getting it back if he's, masticating like that. Good thing it was only the left arm, I guess. Not something I expected to see anywhere, let alone in Symphogear. Usually when it comes to injuries and whatnot, it's overcome by the power of friendship. Well, in Tomasa's case, the medical team helping her from a life-threatening song. Is Symphogear now going to be gonna be without an arm for the rest of the show? Are we gonna have the power of the crystal revive her? Or rejuvenate? If we've had feelings of despair before, having that happen? Okay. But also seeing that happen, if the others are watching on any monitors and seeing it transpire, how do they feel about it? Sure, they might not like them, think she's a hypocrite, but there's only so much that can be done, and they've gone in, were beaten so easily. They've handled so much worse before, and yet both Chris and Tsubasa can be held down indefinitely in some sticky web. How are they going to link arms again and do their freeway triplicate song with, well, part of the link broken? Also, as we've seen them continue to sing while fighting, do they need to maintain the song in order to maintain the gear? Because if so, how's she going to do that while bleeding out and in a state of shock? You know, we've definitely seen stories before where it's anything for the cause. People are willing to sacrifice their own humanity in order to obtain their goals. One question is, why isn't anyone, and by anyone I mean the one claimed to be the mother, the mum, the one in charge here, reining in the fucking doctor who's going out killing kids? Sure, they discovered the facility and were nearby, but come on now. You want to attract more attention to everything here? You want to be portrayed in such a horrific light? I don't think you can pretend this is for the good of the world and the people, saving them from an imminent disaster of the moon when they're indiscriminately doing whatever they like. Something tells me they're not in this for the altruistic reasons. But half the team kind of having it go through to them, you know, singing on the stage in front of everyone, getting the applause, the cheers, the recognition. That felt good. So much better than being the enemy of everyone. And with Maria faltering with like what is deemed necessary. And the only way that she's really being kept in check is, remember your sister? She died, remember? If you give up now, it'll be for nothing. So it'll be your fault. Yeah, that's not going to backfire on them at all, is it? Especially when she goes, no, my sister wouldn't want any of this. How'd they use her name like that? And repercussions are inbound. Unfortunately, just how much damage to our teams are going to be before that point gets reached. And how much stronger is the Nephilim going to be now that he's had a meal? We'll have to see, I guess. If you've enjoyed this one, let me know. Leave a like and a comment down below if you are suitably terrified and traumatized as well. Well, I don't know how to help you, but if you subscribe to the channel, there's more anime on the way. Which is always a good thing. But for now, get yourselves a bit of rest, so I can see you in the next one. If you want to try to avoid all confrontation and instead just have a happy fun time together, consider joining onto my Patreon, because then my channel can survive and we can see more anime, which may finally give me a true place to belong. So I do need to thank Noku, Sal, Guado, Kite, Raywin, Shiwan, Tori Jane and everyone else, for without them I'd be on the metaphorical stage alone with no applause.